Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the April 25, 2026 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as in the word saint spelled backwards. And today, my co-hosts are Brother Walk, host of Sex Talk and Walk, Thursday at 9 p.m. and co-star of Street Focus on Sundays at 6 p.m. We got Brother Afro Agnostic, star of those Afro Agnostic videos on social media, co-star of Objective Deconstruction. We have Student X, star of Mutant Politics, contributor to Objective Deconstruction. We got Infamous El Pooh, star of Spin That Back. And then we have the boss man, Mr. Floyd X, co-star of Street Focus on Sundays at 6 p.m. Now, we are going to have no Spin That Back today, no Mutant Politics. We're going to have Objective Deconstruction. And you got the picture for that, Mr. Floyd X?
Yes, the Objective Deconstruction. What is it?
It's going to be the Democratic Plantation.
Yeah, we're deconstructing the myth of the Democratic Plantation.
That's what's up.
So it's not a plantation.
What?
Yeah,
no, I would argue that it could
spoiler alert. We're not going to say what it is. You got to watch the show.
Oh, okay.
You gotta watch the show.
Yeah, or participate. Yeah, I sent you an invite.
Okay.
But
because we're looking at the origins, who coined the term, and how is it used on one party as opposed to not on all parties. Yeah.
Correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
So
I deconstructed right now, real quick.
He's unserious, but what's
I'm
going on?
on my liquor high, baby. I'm on my liquor high. Liquor high, baby.
That's what's up.
Straight up.
The spirit of Kobe Bryant was channeled last night. The spirit of Kobe was channeled last night. They was out there acting like some bums in the later minutes. We shouldn't have went to overtime, but they channeled the spirit of Kobe Bryant. And guess what? I know y'all thinking 3-0. We up 3-0. Kobe Bryant said, "Y'all not done."
Amen. That's what's up. Froze. Pause. What's going on with you, Brother Afro Agnostics?
Oh, I'm good, man. Caitlin Clark, but see me in the semi-conference finals or something. Then I have more to say. Because you seem like you slid right into the first topic, but I don't know.
Student X, what's going on with you, my brother?
Oh man, just another day, brothers, and just eager to get to these topics because there's one you are sleeping on, but I'm about to wake y'all up when we get to it.
Let me guess. Does it have to do with the number 10?
The number 10?
Maybe not. 10 missing people. But what's going on with you, Mr. Floyd X?
Chiller, man. Enjoyed that game. I caught it at the last 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh shit, they're about to go to overtime." Or is LeBron gonna make that magic shot? And I was hot when he didn't make it. I'm like, "Damn, he should have made." But he clutched, and then you got Mr. Smart. He clutched also. Oh, killer shit. It was a good game. 3-0. Ain't no coming back from that. To the Houston Rockets. Say la vie. Y'all gonna be up there with the Golden State Warriors and go golfing or something.
And the Clippers. You're muted, El Pooh, but I'm gonna ask you, brother, what's going on with you, sir? El Pooh, you're muted. There you go.
Okay.
What's going on with you, my brother?
Lakers. That's all I got to say. 3-0. Let's go.
Ooh, that's what's up. Yeah, that's right. And me myself, I'm on the other side of a colonoscopy, so I tell you, I have another appreciation for food. But go get yourself checked. It's life saving. It's important, and it's a hassle. But it's just a little bit of ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. So let's talk about it. Let's go on. First, let's get to the get. First thing up, we're talking about these Lakers. Well, I guess you're right, Alpha Agnos. We basically did jump into the first topic. I mean, if you didn't see that game, the Lakers pretty much dominated the whole game and then just kind of fell apart at the end. And I mean, 27 seconds left. They're down by 6 points, and Houston's got the ball. I'm already like, yo, these cats just choked this whole game away. But like Mr. Floyd X said, you know, Smart had like one of the greatest steals, the greatest 3-point foul draws, you know what I'm saying? And then just that whole LeBron knocking the ball out the dude's hand and them it just, you know, fumbling around. They went against the LeBron. If you look at the replay, the defender comes up to defend LeBron, and another Houston player knocks him out the way and gives him a clean shot. And it went to overtime, and then it was just all Lakes. So, yeah, you know, I understand that Durant wasn't there, but those cats came to play, and it was a tough game. And, you know, salute to the cats. And no one's ever coming back from an 0-3 in basketball. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Yeah, in baseball they have. In baseball they have, but in basketball, in a 7-game series.
I thought
LeBron did.
No one in the history of the NBA has been down 3-0, not 3-1, 3-0, and came back and won. That's never happened in basketball. That's only happened like in baseball. Maybe that's happened in hockey, but definitely never in basketball before.
Okay. So one thing's for sure, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen this time. So
you can bet on that.
4 games, I win 4 games. Not happen. No, I want to hear. I can't wait to hear Student X take. You know, he was talking about Houston is a young team, and they're gonna give them a run for the money. They don't got Luka, they don't got Reeves. What you got, Mr. Student X?
Oh, bro, that's easy, bro. Is that, man, the Lakers is balling, and from you know, my analysis standpoint, you know, I would stand on that analysis any day of the week. You know, now I didn't put any money behind it because I'm rooting for my Lakers, but you know what we did not count on and did not know was KD was going to be out. So right from the gate, once they had KD out, and then he came back that one game, he wasn't himself, and then played that third game. You know, that was significant for the Lakers. And then what was even more significant than that is, man, I got to give it up to JJ Redick, man, as a coach, man. You know, this dude, he has these boys ready to play. You know, when I say play, you're talking about, you know, just a focus, you know, and not making excuses. And that's why, you know, what people got to learn is that when you talk about men, you know, and when you talk about the upper echelon of athletics, there's no excuses. You know what I mean? Period. Even females, you know what I mean? If you're in athletics and you're achieving at a high level, you don't make excuses. And these dudes is balling. And speaking of which, that last play before OT, Marcus Smart was the only one playing. Everyone else had hung their head low because they quit. They quit. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart was the only one playing. But guess who decided that he wanted Marcus Smart on his team because he was a winner and demanded he be there? Luka. You know what I'm saying? Luka, and he got a good one. He wasn't playing that, you know, okay, my best friends, you know, coming over here like when we got Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? You know, no, we got a real piece. You know what I mean? That's significant. You know what I mean? That's doing something. Look, LBJ, man, when it comes to the best player ever in the history of basketball is LeBron James. Period. LeBron James.
I ain't going there, but still, you know, I'm rooting for the dude to do what he needs to do.
The bad news is, I gotta give y'all the bad news is, and this is real. We are not being OKC without, you know, Reeves and Luka full strength. You know what I mean? It's not happening.
We got OKC up next.
Yeah, they're next. You know, or unless Phoenix upset them, which we know that's not happening. You know,
that's not happening. Yeah, it's gonna be OKC, but
hey,
you know,
still the next.
Yes, sir.
Please,
yes, sir.
Still next. Please keep that energy, because I had that same energy of doubt with the Lakers, and they came back. So let's keep that negative energy that they not gonna beat OKC.
And that's the other part of it too. Is you gotta go with that reverse psychology. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can't be like, you know, jinxing yourself. You know what I mean? That's a reverse jinx. You know what I mean? You know, that's a real thing.
That Hayes and Smart combination, man, that was some killer shit. The way he was passing that ball to him, and I think they worked on that on their own. Like, we gonna put some shit and show their asses. I was like, where that ball come from? And
I
they
saw
had
all type of wonderfulness, but like at the end, you could see that LeBron had ran out of steam. You know what I mean? Because he was doing stuff that we wanted him to do way back in the day, where he had 6-7 titles, which is attack the rim. Don't settle for the jump shot, attack the rim. You know what I mean? And so now he attacking that paint. You know what I mean? He getting those and ones and getting those finishes and whatnot. But at the end, he just ran out of steam, and then people got to recognize that. But he wanted that ball in his hand. So it is what it is. But man, I can't wait till we get at least Reeves back. You know what I mean? To get another shooter. About there. That's gonna be significant. But we need Luka, man, to get past OKC.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Big Cuz. We see you out there. I wanted to ask you last week, but where's the Warriors? Well, what they doing? Where the Warriors? They didn't make it. My bad. Okay.
Ouch. All right, so what we got up next?
Steph Curry at home with his wife, and she like, I got a new business idea. He like, oh God.
So now this is an absolute tragedy over here in Shreveport mass shooter situation. I mean, this situation is crazy. This dude, so he basically kills, I guess his first baby mama, and then goes over to his, I guess where his present wife, and then and basically kills maybe 7 children total. But I mean, it's
eight.
It was 8 total.
8 children. It was 8 total.
7 was his.
Yeah, exactly. 8 total, and 7 was his. And I mean, he had people running up on a roof to survive, to call 911 and stuff like that.
He was chasing children down to kill them.
What type of monster do you have to be? And he told his wife, he said that if you leave me, if you divorce me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill the kids and kill myself. And she said that she was gonna go get a divorce like on Monday or something like that. They were supposed to do that, and he basically followed up on what he said. And
They say the worst part of toxic or abusive relationship is when you decide to leave. That's when it's the most dangerous. So to anybody that's in a toxic or a dangerous domestic relationship, just ghost them. You ghost them, you separate, you plan your exit, get the hell out.
Kids, take
let
all
them
the
know.
kids.
Yeah, let them know, hey, it's over. And don't give them no chance to find you or hunt you down, but you got to be smart about it. Don't throw it in your face. Don't throw it in their face thinking that you're hurting them, because they're going to do their best to hurt you back. And sometimes their only alternative is to the murder. And come on, man, you got to be wise. Pick wise.
Yeah, you're right. One of the things you got to do too is that, you got to look at, if you're dealing with someone who has nothing to lose, they don't got no job, you know what I mean? There's different attributes and red flags you can look at, be mindful of that too, you know what I mean? Because, typically, people that got a little bit more on the line, are less likely. It doesn't mean it's followable, but man, it's crazy. And then there's a weave, there's organizations out there to where you could get help, if you don't trust the police, find some of these community organizations and just plan your exodus, straight up, because it's crazy, that when you get involved with these crazy people, you really don't have, there's not a lot of proactive tools out there to help you. You have to take matters in your own hand, so to speak, in a situation, that's desperate like that. And that's what it was. I'm just now hearing about that she told him, you know what I mean? So if someone tells you, believe them.
Brother Walk.
I agree everything he just said, because I'm like, how do you go back to a guy saying, hey, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill your ass? Like, how do you go back to that? How do you sleep in the same bed
and your children
like that?
You know what I'm saying? That's wild right there. To even fix your mouth to say those words, that should let you know crazy. Right out the back. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta take precautions at that point.
And if they got help is available, y'all in a domestic abuse situation, a violence hotline, call 1-800-799-7233, or you could text 88788 to begin the conversation. So help is available, and hopefully you take that before you mess around and get with the wrong one.
Afro-agnostics?
I got a little bit to say, man. Can I set myself for like 1 minute and 20 seconds, perhaps?
Go ahead.
It's a little longer. Hold up, real quick. So, yeah, I think one of the worst things you can do is try to explain this religiously. Not saying anyone on here did, but on the press conference, a lot of people were attributing this to the devil and calling him a devil, implying that. The other thing, I think the worst thing we can do is individualize it. The Shreveport police issued the fact that 30% of violent crime is domestic violence crime or intimate partner crime in Shreveport. And I'm assuming that's everywhere. The other thing, mansplaining it, trying to brush it off as him being mentally ill. Mental illness does not equate to violence, and women are mentally ill as well. But yet we don't see the disproportionate violence committed by women against men, against their husband, against their boyfriends. The other thing is victim blaming. You know, the red flags and all of that stuff. That first of all, the sole cause of abuse is the abuser's decision to abuse. Period. The red flags are not universal. They're not predictors of behavior. They don't guarantee certain behavior. If you look at various warning signs, everyone has had at least one of them and possibly even two. But most abusers don't show these signs until you're deeply involved in the relationship. 40% of women do follow the correct procedures, do everything that you have said, but still get killed. Restraining orders and all that in order. But I went to the the museum of the exhibit on serial killers, and mostly serial killers are men, but there's a subcategory called infanticide, and women have the highest numbers. Outside of serial killing too, when it comes to infanticide, the killing of infants, women have the highest numbers. And I've never ran into a woman who was insensitive or defensive about that, because you need to know that fact to kind of give women help or assist or find out what the problem is. So, but when it comes to all the other sides, homicide, genocide, femicide, the killing of women, or anthrocide, the killing of men, men dominate in those numbers. So, I mean, we really have to look at that elephant in the room, which is men, not in the sense of like being critical or criticizing or condemning men, but trying to find some answers.
So how do you feel about the topic of the man killing his wife? You just talked about men are the bad guys. How do you feel about this tragedy? Do you have an opinion on it?
No, I'm saying they're the ones committing most of it. So we have to focus.
Do you have an opinion on what happened?
In this particular incident or the Virginia incident? Because
the guy killed his kids.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that men are overrepresented in the killing of domestic partnerships or intimate partners, and that alone should be enough to say, hey, we need to focus on, especially men with a certain demographic, like what's going on and what are we drinking? What food are we?
He's talking about solutions, and honestly, he fully put his position.
I didn't hear no solution on shit. Well, I didn't hear a solution.
He's talking about addressing it, about finding a solution. He's saying that if you see a problem and you see that it's a dominance happening this type of way, then we need to put resources in that and figure it out.
Men go to war, men kill, men do all that. We at war right now. Men start wars, men end wars. Men protect women, men protect children. We're men.
Hurt women, men hurt children.
We have a propensity
men got to be responsible.
Violence. That's what it is.
So that needs to be addressed. So that needs to be addressed. If men have a propensity to do wrong, then that's something that should be addressed. But you keep jumping in front. I'm trying to infamous El Poo. You got something to say about this?
I just know it's a sad situation, and it's unfortunate that it did happen. I don't care what the reasons are. It's just, like I said, it's just something that's unfortunate. And the crazy thing is, it surprised me more that it was a black man that actually did this. So that kills that myth, because I was thinking, like, when I first heard about it, I thought it was a white boy that did it. When I found out it was a black man, it was like, I'm lost in words now. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Black man will leave and just start a whole new family if you're unhappy.
Yeah. The last thing I would say on the topic is just addressing Afro is that, domestic partners, men, killing more is more skewed in that direction. It makes sense, the dominant party, but ain't no one kill more children than women. So we
He
can
already
stop
said that.
right there. with that.
Like
no one killed more children than one.
That literally was the point in his minute and 20-second thing. So let's flip on to the Virginia gerrymandering victory. So the bottom line is Trump and Republicans have decided, hey, you know what? It's not looking too good heading into the midterms. Let's do something about Texas. And they basically gerrymandered Crockett out of there and stuff like that. So they're like, hey, we're gonna take these tactics. So then you had Newsom like, okay, California, is that the game you're gonna play? We're gonna do this. You have Virginia, and Virginia just had their big victory, and Trump is incensed because at the end of the day, this gerrymandering is gonna result in a positive, in a sum extra of Democratic votes. So the bottom line is they say the F around and find out. That's exactly what's happening, and Trump is heated.
He said that the vote was rigged.
Mm-hmm.
He said because they were winning all day, and then those mail he was having trauma. He was having PSP from when he lost to Biden, and all the mail, all the votes came in late and it flipped. So yeah, so the bottom line is, it's rigged.
I heard he made a call to Virginia, said he only need 1,200 more votes.
What you got to say about this, El Poo?
Man, this man said the whole thing is rigged and everything because of the mail-in ballots, and he's the man that's mailing his own ballot. So, man, come on, that's typical Trump for you.
Total clown. Student X.
Hey, man, it is what it is. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. This is
That's exactly what it is. That's 100% Afro-agnostic.
Yeah, what caught me right away with the stories is the article that you gave out. The current voting map in Virginia was created 25 years ago to shut out a black female senator and to dilute the black vote. So the whole yes referendum, I think, for me, is a victory for the Democratic Party because they possibly can get a majority in the Congress, and I guess the battleground war, the Democrats won, and they need a victory. Also, I think it's a win for democracy because anytime Trump or MAGA loses, it's a victory for democracy. Trump, he can't be a tyrant how he would want to be because you got a democratically controlled Congress that can challenge the judiciary, challenge the executive cabinet. And also, I think it's a victory. I don't think it's necessarily a victory for black people yet, and because it depends on how they divide the districts up. So yeah.
And it depends on what the politicians that get put in there do for black people. So it's still to be determined. You got something to say about this, Brother Walk? All right, let's go to the SPLC indictment. Now, honestly, I'm very interested to hear Student X's take on this first because you suggested it. This is an actually good one, But go ahead and set.
Hold on.
Wait a second.
No,
go ahead.
I suggested that first. I'm just saying, if you go back.
Oh, you did. Oh, you know what? Did you? Yes, right. You did. Yeah, you sure did. You sure did. That's correct. I take that back. But the fact that he suggested, but the fact that he suggested it made me go, why is he suggesting it? What is his take going to be? So I want to hear your take, and then I'm gonna go straight to Afro-agnostic. But what's your take on this? Explain to us as you understand the situation what the SPLC indictment is, Student X.
Yeah. So, welcome to the Mutant Ninja Politics Show. No, hey, yo, look. hey, this right here is, I don't think, in fact, I know for a fact that our community in particular, I'm so disappointed in how we're not taking this serious at all. And when I say serious at all, is that when you look into this indictment and look at what is so-called being alleged, is, we're seeing something that, it shakes the core of our understanding of what is been taking place and happening to us. We said from the beginning that Zionists, and Zionism has been a real big problem, inside of our community, that's impacted us and not before the rest of the world, I would say, to a higher level. But right now, when you look at what's being alleged, is the central claim is that the SPLC was funded, facilitated, and influencing, violent events for decades. They're going back to, the OKC bombing and Timothy McVeigh, It's wild, you know. And so the grand jury officially is out of Alabama, returned an 11-count indictment against the SPLC, 6 counts wire fraud, 4 counts bank fraud, 1 count conspiracy, you know, financial related. So it's pretty much dealing with finances, and it's because of the amount of money that was being moved and dealt with, because it was coming from their donations that they were getting, and who knows where else these monies was coming from. But the specific, when you start looking at this thing, you know, at its core, you know, the SPLC, they weren't just, you know, so-called trying to dismantle extremism. Instead, they were manufacturing extremism, literally painting individuals to incite racial hatred. That's what was taking place. There's multiple actors involved, you know, that when you start looking at that OKC bombing, you know, there was additional explosives not detonated, you know, all this is coming out inside the indictment. So basically what was happening is they weren't just infiltrating groups, they were literally seeking control of these groups. I'm talking about the KKK, Aryan Nation, National Vanguard, you know, so when you're thinking about this, thinking like, the Ukraine, how the Jewish population, you know, how the Israel Jews, you know, support Ukraine even though they're Nazis. You know, it was kind of, a lot of people couldn't understand that situation. But you know, we're talking about money is what we're talking about. So that's the key situation here.
Okay, so first let me say I find that to be an absolutely ridiculous take. The notion that you could control the KKK by just giving them money. You know what I'm saying? The KKK is going to fundamentally...
Who said that? Don't say I said that, brother.
Whatever it is. I'm just saying that this whole notion that they're funding these hate groups, that they're, you know, they've been working with the government. They've been working with the government. They've been working with the government for a long time to pay informants to provide inside information into these hate organizations to get information that they couldn't otherwise get. Using informants is what the police do all the time. This is the financing that you're talking about. You don't control by putting money in them. At the end of the day,
that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, that's
bro. So look, you say what you want to say, you know, because I'm not done. There's way more going on here.
Hold on, Afro agnostic. I'm gonna let you speak. You retort. Let's not interrupt him, and then if you feel a need, you know, we don't want to spend too much time.
I gave us enough right now to deal with. Let's deal with what I put out there.
Well, that's what I was dealing with. But let me stop. Just Afro-agnostic, please speak. Go ahead.
It was a mile long and an inch deep. I mean, he really said nothing substantive. So the same. Just think about this. Just put this. The same administration that pardoned the Proud Boys, gave accolades to the Proud Boys, to the Oath Takers, to the January 6ers. The same administration is now going after a civil rights organization. You know, SPLC is a civil rights organization. It was founded by fucking Julian Bond. Julian Bond, his name is he went to Morehouse right here. Like his name is on streets, in university spaces. There are scholarships in the name of Julian Bond. He's a Black activist, you know, civil rights, icon. They fought cases against white supremacist organizations when they were founded in 1971. That was one of the reasons they were founded. They keep track on hate groups, and they do annual statistics and analysis on hate crimes. And they challenge institutional racism. They do all these good things, and that's why they're being targeted, just like DEI. They're being targeted not for what they do. That's why Trump is going after them. Fascists have to control the press. They have to control free speech, just like they went after CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post. Those label of fake news. They went after the arts, the National Arts Endowment, the Smithsonian. They went after education, after professors. That's part of what Charlie Kirk did. Had a list of professors. They went after DEI. I already mentioned that, which is was embedded in the education structure and different structures. They go after Harvard. What is it? They CRT and NPR, PBS, the late night show. So this is just a continuation of this, going after fascists. Have to control these things in order to be fascist. In order to take away the civil rights of the people, you must attack civil rights organizations like SPLC.
All right, Mr. Infamous El Poo, you got something to say about this?
Obviously, I don't have enough information on the situation, but it just reeks of racism to me. That's all I got to say.
And that sums it up, Mr. Floyd X.
Sums it up.
I have nothing to say. They covered all of it.
So
No,
I don't know if you want to use this. We covered up. Look,
bro, we ain't covered all that. What are you talking about, bro? You know, the most meat and potatoes, and especially going back to what brother just got finished saying.
Are we gonna talk about the other stuff, or we gonna let this is a good time to go into the commercials? We got enough. If you want to, we can put it into the comments afterwards, but we're not gonna drag this section out. So go ahead.
Oh, bro, that's whack, bro. That's whack. That's the most important thing in the community right now going on is this situation right here.
The most important thing. Wait, we're not ignoring.
You're not worried about black people, bro. You're not worried about black people.
The most important thing is that they're taking away a vehicle for
bro,
black.
No, that's not the most important thing. That's what you see. That's what you see. In the time we're in right now, the so-called scholars, are thrown out the window as warriors that are standing at the front lines today. What this is about right here is we talking about the SPLC. You got to look at the link to the ADL. The Anti-Defamation League. This right here is a Zionist problem that's going on right now, and it's being rooted out of America. And so there's going to be some of us, I think too many of us, is going to be full because they're on a Democratic plantation, and then a lot of these Zionists have been in both parties, but I think you guys are going to lean the wrong way because that's what it sounds like. You're missing a whole.
You were wrong about Trump. You were wrong about Trump.
This.
You were wrong about Trump, and you're going to be wrong about this.
What do you mean I'm wrong about Trump? What am I wrong about Trump on?
Everything that Trump you said was going to do that he's not done. Now you
first of all, bro, I didn't say Trump was going to do a damn thing. Because
if
I said Trump was going to do something, then my vote would indicate that I believe that Trump's going to do something. But it's like I report the facts. The facts are that what this indictment is aligning out. This is what the indictment is lining out. The indictment is saying that, look, that these are facts that are bringing to the table. There's way more information we have here than we have on the dude that they're saying that killed Charlie. You know what I mean? We got way more information in this case. Right here, they're saying essentially that these Zionists are in these organizations and they were getting money from the public, not giving it to victims, and they were using this money essentially, to have other events occur in our community in particular that impacted us, in particular, and then so they could keep a boogeyman going on. That's essentially what's being alleged here. And they're showing
Just think about
it. We can see the ties to the Democrat Party. And that's what you guys are mad about. Is because this goes to the Democrat Party. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Student X. This is the problem with the conspiracy thing.
This is not conspiracy. What are you talking about? It is. I'm talking about facts in the indictment. This is what it's not a fact.
Just because Cash Patel put something in the paper, that don't make it a fact. This dude is not a reliable
Cash
person.
Patel wrote this
Listen, I'm just saying, whoever. I'm saying the bottom line is, when you think about this, what you're saying is that the organization that investigates these things, you're saying that they're the ones that are funding these organizations. They're creating these organizations just so they have something to fight. This narrative is absolutely ridiculous.
Bro, that narrative is not absolutely ridiculous, because that is exactly what we've been saying has been going on for a long time.
La Brea Trucking for all of your trucking needs. East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast, North to South, South to North. You need something delivered across country, call the number. Y'all saw the number at the end. I made it bigger and I made it last number, so you saw the number. Call that brother if you need something delivered.
That's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey. And if you want in person, go to the Petty Vice in Venice or to the Afro City Marketplace at the Crenshaw Mall. I seen her take a picture with Ava DuVernay, the director. I may be mangling her name, but
Ava DuVernay.
Yeah, that's exactly. So she's getting some of that black honey. So salute to Sister Nidra.
Oh, I missed my mark. Where am I? Right there. Score Bar and Lounge, a black-owned bar, 7123 Franklin Boulevard, Sacramento, California. If you're in the neighborhood, stop by. Go watch the finals at the bar. Good bunch of TVs, good food, good drink, good environment, security. Be safe. It's a nice place to visit. Go check them out. All right, let's get to it. We got the Get me out of here. All right, let's get back. Let's go. Where we at?
So let's go straight into the Nia Long stuff. We got Brother Walk Back. Let's go ahead. We're gonna pick up from Nia Long, long lasting.
Man, I leave for a second. Y'all go to war. What the hell?
Nia Long.
We're gonna talk about Nia Long right now. Is that right? What's going on with her, Keke Palmer, and Leslie Jones, and how this impacts Black people? I'm curious.
I was watching on YouTube.
He's so angry.
Hey, what you gonna say?
No. I said I was watching y'all on YouTube.
All right. So the point of this conversation, we're going to speak on our sisters. In my opinion, I think Nia Long is a Gen Xer, but born in a certain age range, and Keke Palmer is a millennial. I was watching this interview, and I like Nia Long. I love her. I think she's a great actress, and she does her thing. I have no issue with Nia Long. I do have a little bit of issue with Keke Palmer, but I'll keep that to myself. But I was watching the interview, and they was talking about the dating scene. And in my opinion, a dating scene, you should have two different generations have two different opinions. They shouldn't be saying the same thing. But I'm going to play this video, and we're going to talk about it, the dating scene, and how does it affect Black people student next. We're going to talk about it, and then let's try to make some meat out of it, get some meat out of it. So let me grab this video. Yeah, pause. Here go the video.
The thing about dating for me is I want to date with intention.
Yes.
But I also want to have fun. I just don't think I'm like into it though. Like here's the other thing. I don't have time.
Yeah.
That's really the truth.
I don't have time. To your point, I don't have time to do something that doesn't feel worth it to me.
Yes.
And I can compartmentalize. I can do the same thing a guy can do respectfully and ethically, right? I can have a sneaky link vibe, or not even sneaky link, but just like a guy that we know we're good friends and we enjoy each other's company every now and then, but it's nothing serious between us. And then the opportunity of possibly being something serious with someone. I'm open, but it's not. I don't feel like there's a lot of people.
I think I need to get into that.
I would too.
There's a couple that I do that with that I know.
I
think they're scared. They're like scary
because they're gonna fall in love with you.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, baby. Because once you put it down, hey, they don't know how to control themselves.
Back that thing up,
Brother Walk.
They sound ridiculous. If you start out as a sneaky link, you end as a sneaky link. These chicks is giving horrible advice. And Nia Long's old behind giving this advice to the young sister. This is what's wrong. Nia Long, you missed your time when you was young and cute. You should have found you a good husband that wasn't going to cheat like the other dude did. But you had plenty of opportunity. Now things have crashed, and you should have probably stuck with your man who did cheat. He made one little itty bitty tiny mistake with a white girl. You should have took him back. You should have took him back and been happy because y'all got a 14-year-old son. But this is what the problem is. And now you back out here in the market with your old behind. All you're gonna get is ran through. You will find a man because you're Nia Long. That's a good something to put on the resume. If I'm Quavo or one of these young rap niggas, I'm putting you on my resume. But I'm gonna settle down with y'all ass? Hell no. Women, y'all need to start giving y'all younger sisters better advice. Stick with your man.
Damn.
El Pooh,
Damn.
as a father, what you
Damn.
got to say about this?
As a father,
Yeah.
you know what?
See, he threw you off with that. Why he throw that out
Well,
there?
I'm saying because he's talking about
How you was gonna post it, man. Don't look at it like that.
he said giving you advice to these women and stuff like that. So I'm just like, dang, you hear what he's saying?
Post it how you
Respond
gonna
to it how
post
you
it,
want.
fool. He done threw a wrench in there.
He sure in the fuck did. I'll just say it like this. Listen, as a father, I'll say listen to your mama. Don't listen to these females right here because they on some BS. That's all I got to say about that.
All right, well, go ahead, Mr. Poetic. You set it up, but you, well, I guess you.
Let everybody go. I got more.
All right. Student next. Go ahead. You got something to say about this?
I mean, bro, I don't even know what to say. I mean, other than the fact that this type of dysfunction, that's being promoted is, why we have a higher tendency to see such foolishness in our community. And until we get back to more so-called traditional values, I think you guys have a term for it now. Trad, is that what that stands for?
Yep.
You guys, some people call it trad wife.
But when we get back more to that, traditional roles and understanding and whatnot, I think we'll definitely see an increase of our families, being together, true unity, true, the families being able to prosper. Is what I, but this right now is just, the same people that you're seeing right here with your neo-longs and whatnot. That's who the SPLC work with, and influence. So they could go ahead and put the psychological warfare, on the people, so it could keep you misinformed and then distort truth and then have you distrust one another, And then, the indictment gets all into that too, by the way.
So it's not the KKK that's the problem. It's not these actual hate groups. It's not these conspiracy things. It's not all these real things. It's the people that basically throw little few dollars at it.
Is that what you're saying? That's not what I said.
That's exactly what you're saying.
That's not what I said. That's the women response.
Back to the subject.
Speaking of these women we're talking about, a woman would go and deflect and start talking about something you didn't even bring up.
I feel like guys don't want to casually date when you're not begging for more.
Maybe that's what, because I am very aloof.
Me too, girl. I'm like, do your thing. I got to do.
We're not chasing.
They don't want that. To me, it's like, why can't we have a look? Why can't we be consistent sneak links? Why can't we just say, hey, it's Friday?
They talk too much. Where's the NDA?
Way too much. I do need that.
We need an NDA.
The NDA I need stat.
Right now.
Because I'm looking for
What
Friday.
do you guys
Are we on for Friday night again?
Yeah. Are these the right finger? Oh, wrong.
Are we on Friday
okay.
night again? Yeah. Ate that.
Okay.
Eat that maybe.
We definitely.
I just let it play out. So we're gonna speak on
Afro-Ignatius. Let Afro-Ignatius go ahead. Afro-Ignatius, what's your response?
Yeah, I don't really have anything in particular to say about. I don't see, Nia Long sounds like she has dating fatigue. She's been through that. She's exploring something else. I mean, people do that regardless of gender. It's not some grand conspiracy that's linked to the SPLC. That's the reason why or the cause why the Black community. Well, you have to look at things like mass incarceration, poverty, and unemployment. These things are linked to capitalism and racism. This is the destruction of the Black family, not these two celebrities talking about their dating experience in their dating life. These are high-profile women. They approach dating differently than someone who isn't high-profile, who doesn't have, 24. A large part of their 24-hour day dedicated to their work and to their art. I noticed that the men have lots of advice. They get sensitive. They have sensibilities. They get emotionally involved in these type of things, but they really have nothing to say against auxoricide, the killing of wives or girlfriends, or femicide, the killing of women. There's no concern. There's no discussion about this that's really taking place in the red pill in the manosphere, but they're always regulating and policing dating, how women should dress, all this other stuff, but nothing about what we do to women. That's another part of the discussion.
I agree with that 100%. At the end of the day, Nia Long is not having any more children. She's just a grown person. I mean, what is she supposed to do? The bottom line is, if you're a grown person now, you're basically beyond the family producing thing. It's just a function of living out your days how you feel like you want to live them out, though. Do your thing. As far as Keke Palmer, you're a little bit younger, But you know, one of the videos you don't have is when she's talked about how she doesn't want to live with a man. That she basically says, "Look, I don't want to live with a man. If I have a relationship with him, he needs to have his own house. I have my own house." You know, that's something that I think is maybe not the best way to go for it. Go ahead.
I want to add too another interesting thing that's maybe not related, but she also mentioned that she was dating at one time or is dating a 69-year-old man. I found that
that was crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was like,
That's crazy.
Let me ask something.
preference. I'm not
Y'all
against it.
Y'all
against
kind of compartmentalizing this right here with y'all kind of putting this in one compartment. Nia Long and the little girl they talking right now. This is what they're putting out. These young girls in our society that we see every day, deal with every day. They are adopting this bullshit. That's what's going on. And it's not necessarily coming from these two women, but they're co-signing it, so it's making it better. That Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, who was a wife, turned into a fucking baby mama. This is like, oh, it's no big deal. Okay, I fucked the guy who got like 9 kids, and I'm the 8th one now. Like this is a big.
Can you give me an example? Not to cut you off, but because you're saying this bullshit. Can you give me one example of what you are saying that's bullshit?
He just said the Cardi B one. The Cardi B was.
well, first of all, Meg Thee Stallion is in a committed, some serious relationship. So
but she out here flopping around, shaking the tuchus and fucking everybody. And then you know
wait, that's
she's
pure
a hoe.
rumor.
She's
not a hoe.
How she on the street? And then you're meeting with the president and the president to be. And like they normalizing this crap.
Hold on. So Walt, you're against promiscuity?
I'm against chicks who have been married, then they fuck around and cheat on their husband and have a baby with another a dude who got 11 kids, and these chicks are idolizing this broad. That's what I'm against. I'm pro fucking. I like fucking.
Well, see, because that's the thing about it. Because with the Cardi B situation,
I'm getting married too next year.
I mean, with the Cardi B situation, as I understand, he cheated on her, and then they left. So the fact that they didn't finalize it,
I mean, woman, and she had a baby out of wedlock, and then she's that's a bad example. She was on Gayle King talking about, I'm pregnant from my boyfriend. Oh, great job! You're having a baby out of wedlock.
When it comes to promiscuity, I think just facts. When it comes to promiscuity, I think men and women are about equal. But when it comes to cheating, I think men have a slight edge. So, I mean, if that's your issue, then you should be focused on another gender a little bit more.
Hey, look at Student X. Like, look at these niggas gossiping, talking about relationships.
Bro, I'm looking at like little girls is what I'm looking at. Straight up, you know what I mean?
Girl.
You know what I mean?
Little girls
make a difference at all.
That says it all.
You talking about relationships, but you talking about relationships. We talking about relationships. Type of stuff. How is this not important to the Black community more so than what the SLP or whatever this other stuff? I mean,
you're missing the most important part of this whole episode right here. I was saying this topic is the fact that, again, you're being programmed. When you watch television, you take in content, there's a certain level of programming, and then these themes and narratives are on repeat, throughout the community. And then we see it reflected in actual society, because when you look at the marriage rate among our people, it's so ridiculous. When you look at the broken families, and then there's nothing that you're gravitating towards that will reverse that process. You know what I mean? So that means you're satisfied with where you're at, so then you're going to continue.
This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity where you can speak on it and bring it to where it can benefit Black people.
I'm not trying to prolong the topic. I want to go get to some more real shit. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to let you guys
Black relationships and family are not real shit.
Not in this context. If you want to talk about, like I said, how, what should be promoted, we want to make it like a topic in terms of how can we reverse this like reality, that exists inside the community, then that would be more interesting. But you guys say again?
I mean,
like I said, I can't wait to get off this topic. We can't get off it fast enough for me. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to prolong it.
You say that, but you are prolonging it. And in fact, had we just got to the Leslie Jones situation, we'd have been able to deal with the whole traditional wife situation.
Right.
So you're the one that's, again, if you're not part of the meetings and not part of understanding what we can talk about, let's not derail the frame of the show.
That's why I was on the sideline, bro.
Not just me came up, but that the whole team came up. But so again, I'm just saying the bottom line is. So let's go ahead and talk about the Leslie Jones situation.
You like a powerful man.
I do.
So a dominant to your submissive.
I'm not submissive.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart. Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my head.
Absolutely not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip.
Do y'all hear that?
Yo.
Y'all hear that shit that the grown, she's 56 or 58 years old. 58. Talking about marriage is slavery. He might as well pull out a whip. Come on, how are we going to move forward with that kind of thinking, Student X?
I shared something right now. Go ahead and put it on the screen.
What is that?
You know what I mean? There's that's not exactly what I was trying to show. It was the woman, the divine value of woman. That's on a different one, but the divine value of woman. Is that there's a teaching that exists that's out here in the world today. And it's been around for a long time. That if in practice it promotes healthy families, it promotes strong communities. It promotes, uplifting the people and bringing them from such, tragic consequences to where our experiences have influenced where we're at today, and it brings us to another level. And so I would just say that, if you keep tuning in, to this ridiculousness that we see, on the regular TV,
the thing is trying to show us.
Yeah. No. That was for something different right there. I would have to go and find the one, but yeah, the one I'm talking about, you can quit sharing that one right now. The one I'm talking about is called the divine value of woman. Just type that in.
Is marriage like slavery?
Right. What do you mean is marriage like slavery?
That's what she said on the video.
Yeah. Right. How's marriage going to be equated to slavery? If you have a righteous intent and there's something, a product you're going to produce, it's not slavery at all, but it's, bro, that's, like I said, I don't know where to even go with that, because, again, this is part of that program we just got finished talking about.
Hey, Brother Juan, just give your take.
Y'all just be going on what y'all feel like, oh, fuck this is bullshit. Watch the video. That's what we talk about. We run the show here. Well, I got something to say about this Leslie Jones. Her dick is like this long. I think it's 15 inches. That's how she acting up there. And a woman, she's a broken woman who failed at finding someone who was efficient for her needs. She is a comedian. She's making money. She's been doing movies. She was in that movie with Martin Lawrence in 2000, Nothing to Lose. She did a lot of movies. And here's the thing. She should have found a man back then. You know what she qualified with her looks and her money? She should have got her a bus driver, a cab driver, an Uber driver, a janitor. You don't qualify for these cats making $1 million a year. That's what she thinks she deserves. You don't deserve no Brad Pitt or Shamar Moore, baby. I'm sorry. With your aesthetics, it's just not going to happen. And that's why she's bitter, fat, ugly, and old. You failed. Teach the sisters not to be like you.
Afro-agnostics.
Man, so much hate, man. Just want to mention just the if you're really concerned about the marriage rate, you have to be concerned about things like mass incarceration, poverty, unemployment. These are the big drivers, and those are driven by racism and capitalism. I just want to mention, I'm probably have things all over the place, but if you look at I think the third or the second of the 10 Commandments, it says, thou shalt not envy a man's ox, his house, or his wife, or anything that is the possession of the man. So this gives you a kind of a look at what marriage has been like. It has functioned like slavery. It doesn't have to. The traditional marriage has functioned like slavery, because if you just think about Color Purple, I don't know if folks read the book or at least seen the movie, you get a sense of what marriage was like prior to the 1970s. Women, you couldn't be economically independent. You had to have a man because there was no way for women to even, you couldn't own a house, you couldn't work outside the house, or you were limited to certain jobs. So in that way, slavery was like, marriage was like slavery. This is nothing new. That if you ever read the Communist Manifesto, he talks about this. It's not even coming from a feminist perspective. It's coming from a capitalist perspective, that marriage has been reduced, or the family has been reduced to a financial unit. There are many different types of marriages in different ways people can link up and relate. People are just not necessarily happy with the nuclear family and how that has been structured. But she's not a sociologist; she's a comedian. So she's going to follow.
Then go out, work, kill animals, bring them home for the wife to prepare and cook. So was he a slave feeding his fucking family? What are you talking about, my nut?
And we talk about women being emotional. This is an example here.
It's like that master was feeding his slaves. I mean, he was doing all this stuff to house his slaves. Master built a house for them. He gave them food. He gave them resources. I mean, just because you give somebody structure and all of this stuff doesn't mean that it's not a slave environment.
This is where marriage came from. A man with his daughter, he gives the daughter to the husband. I'm giving you her so you can protect and feed her now. That's what marriage is about. That's what that man is for. That man is providing and feeding his family. What the fuck is people talking about? This is comparable to slavery. Why? Because she got to wipe the table and wash the dishes?
And she don't got no rights?
No, I'm saying the thing that kept
I heard what y'all saying. Stop trying to explain shit. Let's
you the one that's sitting there dragging it on. I was trying to go to El Poo. You had just
get emotional too.
Yeah, exactly. El Poo, you got stuff. If you let me direct the show, we'll basically get in and out of these things much more expediently. El Poo, what do you got to say about this?
Women that talk like Leslie Jones are unwanted women. Period.
Damn. God damn.
Sum that up.
That was some cold shit. That was cold shit.
I'm done.
Student X. Did you get something? Did you get the opportunity to speak on this? I think you did, but I'm not sure if you did. As far as whether it's slavery, I believe you did.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was just confused. I mean, because of course, marriage is not slavery, but people marry for different reasons all the time. And so you have to look at what your motive for marriage is. When you start learning the science of mating, and if you're trying to build a civilization, then you have a whole different focus than versus someone as an individual. So like I said, in terms of the culture, and we're here in a first world country, we have first world type of challenges that exist. Like men, not knowing if they're what woman or man is. Those are like first world problems. Third world problems, you don't get to have that type of construct because the roles are clearly defined, and so it makes it much more simpler. So, that's all I really have to say on this.
Great.
A lot more abuse going on in those countries too. A lot of more rape and abuse and so forth. But let me just tell you real quick, if I can add that one reason conservatives cry crocodile tears about the falling rate of marriage and so forth. But the reason marriage stayed together in the past is because women could not be economically independent. When women were able to work outside the home, that's when you see the marriage rate start to fall. They started to act more like, guess who? Us. You know what I'm saying? They don't necessarily
first world problem.
Longer.
Yeah.
They're able to get a house. They're able to get credit. They're able to have agency over their life more so than what they used to. That's just what it is.
When they say, I don't need no man.
And that situation becomes less of a slavery situation. So
Yeah.
I agree. I think that both of you nailed it. And I would just say that, look, I've said this on Focus Up before, so this is nothing new. I definitely believe that marriage is a failed institution. I don't endorse it. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, the most important thing you can do is be honest and work with a person that you're willing to work with. As long as you're willing to work with, cut it off when it's bad, whatever. The bottom line is, you know, do the work. But again, the whole notion of being married for the sake of marriage, I don't buy none of that crap. Because again, most of it's a failure.
Damn.
Most of it is a failure.
Right.
It's just human behavior.
A married man saying this. Wow.
Failed institution.
Yeah, just because I see great examples of marriage that work and I see great examples that don't work. So just because I find something work a few times doesn't make it great for everybody. So that's what I'm saying. Overall, the human experiment has basically demonstrated it to be a failure of an institution by my observation. And you want me to say my opinion, that's basically
the data supports that. Yeah.
So, you know,
data supports that.
Yeah.
So that having been said, I think we've covered enough. Look, I appreciate all you guys. It's okay for us to disagree. It's even okay for us to be emotional and testosterone because we's men's. That's what we do. But again, let's just participate with the show structure and not fight too much on camera. So that having been said, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Again,
thank y'all for watching the show. Greatly appreciate
like, subscribe. Yes.
Like,
Objective
subscribe.
Deconstruction next.